Halfsword. This game lets you control your weapons with amazing precision. Every motion is controlled by physics. Armor and weapon, from weight to balance, completely changes the feel of combat. It also features amazing limb and body damage that directly affects your ability to fight. The AI is impressive. It can fight aggressively, defensively, it can panic, or remain patient. After hundreds of hours, this game still surprises me. The only issues are the jelly-like movement of the fighters, the clipping that can happen between weapons, and the physics bugs that mangles limbs and sends ragdolls flying. Most of these can be fixed, so we'll say that the realism potential of Halfsword is very high. Exanima. This top-down dungeon crawling may not be a dedicated fighting game, but the combat system is very impressive. Like Halfsword, every motion is controlled by physics and varies by the weapon's weight and balance. Limb damage, however, isn't as detailed. Instead, enemies will enter a similar stunned state, preventing them from attacking depending on how severe the attack was. The AI is fantastic and is capable of many fighting styles. Every opponent is a puzzle to solve, and some can provide an enormous challenge. Similar to Halfsword, Exanima combatants move around like they are drunk, attacks are slower and more deliberate, and vertical control of attacks is vague. For a game that has no interest in being a realistic combat game, Exanima's realism potential is very good. Hellish Quart. This classic fighting game takes a highly realistic approach compared to other typical fighting games. Using active ragdolls, like the others, Hellish Quart trades physical procedural animation for detailed, real-world techniques, played out as canned animations. The combat system is highly refined, but very different from the other options like Halfsword or Exanima. Limb damage rivals Halfsword and is highly detailed, and a single mistake can ruin your chances of victory if your leg or arm is hit. AI is good and plays to the strengths of the style they are using. Overall, Hellish Quart provides a gameplay experience similar to the classic Bushido blade, with modern visuals and gameplay. The trade-off of precise controlled motions for canned animations brings with it a lack of adaptability and chaos to combat, but I still consider Hellish Quart to have a high realism potential. Sword and Sorcery. This VR action-adventure game is a must-play for those looking for a realistic gameplay experience. Players have very precise control over their weapon, like no other, and can pull off techniques that no other option on this list can achieve. The enemies use active ragdolls and respond well to the player. However, Sword and Sorcery AI are, compared to the others, primitive. They do not have complex limb damage. They play canned animations, and they heavily favor defensive and passive combat. If you want to experience a power fantasy with highly realistic controls, Sword and Sorcery may be the best option, but the AI and their capabilities hold it back. Sword and Sorcery has a decent realism potential, but improvements to the AI could make it unrivaled in the future.